On Christmas Day, while the world celebrated in peace, 3 Venezuelan warships suddenly turned toward a lone US Navy vessel in open waters and closed in fast. What forced them to back down without a single shot? December 25, 2025, in the vast southern Caribbean waters. As families gathered for festive cheer worldwide, a trio of Venezuelan naval vessels launched their bold advance. At precisely 3:41 p.m. in the local zone, monitoring teams on an American naval craft witnessed the shift unfold live. 3 blips on the screen, once cruising alongside, pivoted sharply as one. Their paths curved closer, velocity ramped up, alignment grew compact. This wasn't random chance, it was the holiday peak, with skeleton crews on duty. Focus scattered globally amid celebrations, and the Venezuelans counted on that edge. Within the operations hub, the alert came sharp and focused. 3 Venezuelan military boats, synchronized pivot, shrinking gap. No sirens blared, no shouts echoed, merely verification, since purpose on waves speaks through actions, not speeches. These weren't casual passers-by, not lingering afar safely. They charged right toward the command deck. The US reply surged swift yet measured. No swerve off path, no throttle boost, no bold twist. The American vessel stuck to its route. That decision carried weight. Amid open seas, steady behavior grants advantage. The initial waver cedes dominance to opponents. The leader grasped this truth. So did Venezuelan overseers eyeing their displays. Venezuelan crafts broadcast 0 signals. No tracking beacons, no deck-to-deck chats, no rationale offered, simply metal forms advancing with intent. The opening call rang out. Venezuelan military boats, you're facing a US naval fighter in free ocean territory. Reveal your aims. Quiet reigned. The advance persisted. A follow-up message in their tongue ensued. Your navigation risks danger. Shift direction now. Yet emptiness replied. At this stage, ambiguity vanished. 3 combat-ready ships, unified quiet, head-on surged toward a US naval unit amid worldwide merrymaking. This wasn't sloppy handling, it was a probe, precisely scheduled. In the hub, detection gear activated softly. Distant viewers fixed on nearing forms. Each angle tweak, every pace gain, all mute intervals got noted and timed. The US craft refused to budge. No theatrics, no displays, pure focus. For in such tense spots, particularly when foes anticipate lapses, the riskiest counter isn't frenzy, it's composure. And while Venezuelan naval units pressed onward that December 25th, a key fact dawned on all screen gazers. This transcended routing. It hinged on who yielded first. The shrinking span lacked overt hostility, but pulsed with determination. 20 sea miles, down to 19, then 18. Outwardly, 0 spectacle unfolded. No abrupt rushes, no wild veers, merely 3 Venezuelan naval crafts sustaining constant rhythm as they gently honed their closing pattern. But inside the operations room, the real trap was being set. It felt cautious, deliberate, the sort of shift crafted to seem excusable till it tipped. Within the operations core, the strategic view clarified. The front Venezuelan unit clung to a collision trajectory. The pair behind fanned subtly wider by degrees, expanding sideways yet sustaining forward thrust. To everyday boaters, it signaled nil. To a sea defense squad, it screamed volumes. They imposed side restrictions, not a full surround, not immediately, but a configuration that squeezed options and boxed the US naval craft into a slim choice frame. The American counter stayed constant, path firm, rhythm firm, stance impartial. Such moderation was intentional. In unbound waters, each stray move sparks readings. A detour might paint as withdrawal. A pace hike could spark as instigation. The wisest spot in rules and tactics was to avoid both. The Venezuelan units kept narrowing. 17 sea miles, 0 voice links, no polite outreach, no sailing excuse. The hush itself turned into a cue. The deck overseer commanded another outreach. Venezuelan military crafts, you're tightening on a US Sea Defender. Suggest prompt path switch to dodge hazards. Static buzzed in reply. In the core, nearest meet point refreshed once more. NMP at 5.2 sea miles now. That figure sparked silent vigilance through the station, because below 5 miles, everything changes. Under 5 miles, motives grow hard to mask. Under 3, they stand bare. Signal detection tools started capturing without intrusion. Not disrupting, not alerting, just absorbing. Beam scans from Venezuelan sides popped sporadically. Mild strength, water scan setting. They observed, gauged, tuned. Distant viewers magnified deeper. Upper activity emerged vivid. Crews surfaced, gear secured. Groups huddled by bow armaments. 0 arms staffed, yet none feigned normalcy. The head watched wordlessly. He'd encountered this prior. Not here, not this day, but the blueprint rang familiar. Shadowy push, near enough to rile, regulated enough to refute. 16 sea miles. The Venezuelan spear bumped velocity mildly, mere 2 units. The duo trailed shortly after. It seemed minor, yet compressed the schedule. NMP to 4.1 sea miles, Corps announced. Here, the clash shed abstraction. If any party erred on rhythm or tilt, safety buffer would vanish swiftly, and all present knew December 25th's pick wasn't haphazard. Festive shift swaps, dimmed worldwide watch, a plotted slot. The US naval craft ignored the velocity spike. Rather, the head gave a soft directive. Elevate alert level. Activate extra detectors. No warnings chimed, no broadcasts issued. The vessel appeared unaltered outside while gearing inwardly. On the airpad, the rotor team shifted sans rush, yet sans lag. And then, the helicopter got the call. Energy linked, units heating, groups buckling. Not takeoff yet, but prep turned tangible. In the core, station keepers mapped each tilt shift with pinpoint accuracy. The Venezuelan crafts clung to array, still tightening, still wordless. NMP at 3.6 sea miles. That digit hung thickly over the area. Below 3 miles, defenses crumble. Below 3 miles, records form rapidly. Nonetheless, the American vessel gripped its track. This wasn't obstinacy, this was protocol. Since the aim wasn't to claim a clash, it was to compel foes to act next under full scrutiny. The strain had mounted. Now, would Venezuela drive deeper or grasp how exposed their risk appeared? Once the gap dipped under 3 sea miles, the meeting evolved into another realm. At this closeness, purpose couldn't pass as fluke or weak steering. Each tilt adjustment was chosen, each rhythm unit bore impact, and each tick got captured. Within the operations core, the vibe stayed hushed but taut. Station holders voiced brief, exact refreshers, gazes glued to maps and viewer streams. NMP now 2.9 sea miles, tightening. The head absorbed sans remark. He sought no extra data, he sought the perfect instant. The head chose his path. Initiate visibility steps, he stated evenly. The phrase was basic, its reach wasn't. And with one quiet order, the game flipped. A mild yet vital tweak surfaced, blip easing rhythm. 26 units fell to 24, then 22. The side Venezuelan crafts matched ticks later, their trails shortening as power dipped. The compact strain setup started easing, tilts broadening just to snap the collision pose. No sharp detours, no hasty pullout, just a gauged retreat. The craft maintained spot, detectors fixed, beam constant. At 2.7 sea miles, the spearcraft tweaked path lightly, few degrees only, yet sufficient. Collision line dissolved. In the core, the refresher came softly. Blip ceases, NMP drop. That marked the turn. The probe crested and fractured. The craft wrapped a last sweep, securing evident proof of altered stance. Then it swung toward the vessel, rising evenly back to air pad. On waves, the US naval craft never altered path, never altered rhythm. The Venezuelan naval units lingered on monitors, still in range, but ceased tightening. Their shifts moved from strain to monitoring. 0 arms lifted, 0 alerts launched, 0 ramp sparked. But the result stood firm. The US side hadn't imposed yield via menace. It had imposed transparency via visibility. Quote, "Strength at sea whispers through steady courses and silent resolve." But why did this invisible win matter so much? Once span grew over 10 sea miles, the face-off stood resolved. The trio of Venezuelan naval crafts lingered on monitors, yet they lost meeting reins. Their lines paralleled now, skipping crosses. To non-sea pros, it could seem 0 transpired. 0 blasts, 0 chimes, 0 flashy twists filmed. But in current wave ops, ends seldom hinge on booms. They hinge on who steers ramp up and who gets pushed to halt. That December 25th, 2025, Venezuela gambled on a known guess that schedule bred chance. Worldwide fest, thinned focus, the bet a US naval craft would favor dodge over firmness. That guess flopped. The American counter skipped hostility. It shunned menaces or blasts. It leaned on process, filing, and moderation wielded sharp.